Thanks, everyone. So first off, I want to say a big thank you to Karen and the other 15-year-old girls who put this event together to empower other women. I know everyone here, whether you're young or whether you're old, is here to learn how to grow and support each other through our stories. And hopefully in the next 15 minutes, I can inspire you by sharing a little bit about who I am and what I've come through my own story. So I am Janette Burke, and there's some cards on the table if you want to see them. I am executive producer of Janette Burke Productions, host and creator of Janette's I'm Every Woman TV, and a video media marketing consultant, trainer, author, and speaker. So I built my own company, Janette Burke Productions. In 2011, my first guest was fashion icon, host of Fashion TV, Jeannie Becker, and I built the company from scratch after being a publicist. First, I was primetime PR for many years, and I was a revolutionary as a publicist. I went on the road a lot, I spoke, I did Learning Annex, and I was also featured regularly as a columnist in the York Region Business Times. And what I did was I taught people, regular small business people, how to use PR in their businesses because it was an alternative to advertising and they didn't understand it. And they really needed it the most because they didn't have huge budgets. So I did that for many years. But I was not happy doing that, despite working with celebrities, moms and pops, charities. Everybody needs PR to succeed. I was not happy doing it. I had huge success, I made a ton of money, and I was miserable doing that. So I wound up finding my calling by moving from behind the camera, where I used to put people into the media, print, radio, TV, to in front of it. And I actually took a role on as a co-host on an internet-based TV station and TV show called Liquid Lunch, and I did that for 18 months. And then an opportunity came, and I wound up getting my own show, we originally called I'm Every Woman TV, on a different network, and I did that for 2 years. And I realized that I was doing a lot of work and bringing a lot of views and really not getting any credit for that. So I decided, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and start my own. And that was a very brave move, because at the time, internet was getting bigger, but I was like a pioneer to put a women's only show covering women's issues and women's offshoot products strictly on the internet. And everyone said to me, you are totally crazy. This will not fly. Well, today in season 7, I have over 5 million women, 30 to 55, watching in every English-speaking nation across the world. And we not only feature regular businesses that have products and services that benefit women and change their lives, we also do a lot of celebrity stuff at TIFF, and I'll drop a few names of who I've interviewed. Helen Mirren, Ben Stiller, Nicole Kidman, Maisie Williams, and the list goes on and on. I'm not going to bore you with those details because you can all visit my website at www.janetteburke.com to see all about that. I really want to just focus on the journey. The journey for me was hard because I did not have what I needed in place. And I really was an act of one and an army of one. And it was challenging. I didn't feel that really I had the support, and I think in business you have to have support. But what I did have was a very strong business acumen. And that is because I was raised in a business family, and I learned from the time I was 8 years old how to be successful in business from my father, who recently passed away 5 months ago today, actually. how to be strong in business. And he took me into his clothing stores, men's clothing stores, at the age of 8 at Christmas time and taught me how to sell. And that was basically the best day of my life. And then after that, I learned how to be in marketing and PR, and I learned a lot from my mother as well, because she used to help my father with all his advertising, marketing, PR, and I guess some of her skills kind of rubbed off on me. And so she was a good role model for me, a good mentor, because she was able to teach me how to hone those particular skills. Now, in my own life, I've achieved a lot. I had my own PR firm, Primetime PR, at the age of 21 years old, along with 2 university degrees and a 6-month stint at law school, which I hated and I left. Like so many here, including the lady who spoke before me, my parents and my culture did not support me following my dreams. I am I'm Jewish, and in Jewish culture, women also have a very specific role about getting married and having kids. And being an entrepreneur is not so much unless you're going to do that to help your husband. So I remember my mother used to tell me when I was in university, now remember, I grew up in the clothing business, so image was a big part of it. My mother was also a makeup artist before she wound up marrying my dad. So image was a big part of my life, and I felt very pressured by that. But I remember her telling me, you know, when you go out and at university at events, just sit there and look pretty, don't say anything. And I'd be like, what? This is a modern world. Why are you telling me to do that? Oh, just laugh, giggle, sit there, look pretty, because I want you to marry a doctor or a lawyer, and you be the wife, and that's it. And that simply did not fly for me, and I did not keep my mouth shut. I was able to converse on various topics, and I did so. So, jumping forward to 2011, when I took the risk to start Janette Burke Productions, I did it for women, and it was to inspire, empower women, and cover the universal topics that affect each and every one of us, personally and professionally. Because I know that when we deal with these issues as a whole, as opposed to keeping them inside, we come together collectively and we learn how to be supportive, and we learn how to take away knowledge from experts who are speaking about these topics, so that we can stay out of the suck hole, that's the negative place, and live a really profound life. And that's basically why I do what I do. So, just to mention a few other things, I've had enormous success, but I've also had a lot of failure. And you know, success and failure, they're kind of 2 parts of the same coin. I don't believe that you can truly be successful without having a few rainy days. We learn from those rainy days. And it's kind of what we do with them. So I just want to share with you some of the common hurdles that I faced keeping my dreams and passion and business going. One of them was doubt. And unfortunately, doubt kills more dreams faster than anything else will. So my advice to you is, do not doubt yourself. When you feel you have skills and talents in a specific area, go for it. And do not let anyone or anything stand in your way. I believe that if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. I remember my mother used to read me a book going to sleep at night about this train that kept, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and he just kept doing it till he could. And that drove me my whole life. I think I can. And so I did. And I believe that if you believe in yourself, you will too. I also have a very fun, free spirit, and I'm very creative. And some people don't like that. Some people want me to fit into their little mold of what they think I should be, or they think how I should act, or think, or speak, or be. I don't abide by that either, and I encourage you not to. One of the greatest things in life is to be authentic and be yourself. Do not change for anyone, because the minute you try to be something that you're not, it's going to show up in every area of your life. We can only fake it so far till we make it, but we have to be ourselves doing it. Another thing I think is very important in the hurdle of achieving what you want, whether it's in business or professional career, whatever, is to make sure you have the right support along the way, because I did not have that. I did have mentors and business mentors, and they were fabulous, but I did not have the support system that I needed until the last few years, where I actually built a team around me. And I'm very grateful for my team, because I delegate different duties to them, and I realized that I cannot be successful as doing everything alone. You cannot, because there's only so many hours in the day, and you can't do everything. You gotta focus on what you do best and let everything else go. And I learned that the hard way, because I used to try and do everything myself. And what happens with that is, when you're so busy doing everything, you really can't do anything well. And you can't have a life. You can't have a balanced life. You make yourself crazy. You make yourself sick. And I can tell you firsthand, I've been very sick. I've overcome some major illnesses. I've spent a lot of time in the hospital, and I still take 26 pills a day, and I function with a team of 8 that I delegate to every single day and meet with every week. So you see, you can have barriers in your life, but it's what you do with those barriers. They can either be the ones that shut you down and stop you and prevent you from everything, or they can keep you going, and they can keep you motivated, and they can keep you challenged to keep pursuing. There has also been financial restraints, and I think a lot of people say, you know, financial restraints are what kills their dreams too. That's just an excuse. Where there's a will, where there's a passion, where there's a drive, you will find the money. It will show up. There are lots of ways to get creative with your accounting. There are options. There are grants in the Canadian government system. There is banking. There's even, you know, GoFundMe. There's financing using your credit card if you have to. So never make funny finances or money the excuse for not getting your dreams. You can work an extra job. There's always a way, and believe me, I have found so many creative ways in the financial realm to keep going, and when sales are down and what have you, there are ways to keep going. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was sleep. So we're women, and women, we want to do it all. We are mothers, we're wives, we're daughters, we have responsibilities. I'm taking care of my mom now that she's a widow. And to get that life balance, some people say it is a myth, and it is sometimes, because you do have to work. But you know what? We can set goals and priorities. We all have calendars, they're in our phones. When we schedule time, we need to schedule time for ourselves, whether that's for a walk, the gym, spending time with loved ones, what have you. And we have to schedule our sleep. We have to be able to say, we can turn this off now and carry forth. We have to learn how to set respectful boundaries, set our boundaries and stick to them and just abide by them and let people know. I don't answer the phone after 8 o'clock at night. I'm available again tomorrow morning. That's not a crime. We deserve that, we work hard. So these are some of the things that have, been common lessons for me. I do want to also leave you with this message about lessons learned, okay? When you want to move forward in your life, whether it's in a career, a profession, or a business, it's very important that you do your homework and don't assume that everyone is your ideal client. Rather, find your path, develop a niche in a marketplace that probably hasn't been served, and really find your target market. You will build up much faster. So what I mean is, you can't be willing to serve everyone and everything. You've really got to focus it down, hone it based on your skills. Be willing to don't go as planned. It doesn't mean throw in the towel. It means we need to shift, we need to make a change. You need to assess what is going wrong and find a way to fix it. It doesn't mean abandon it. Always be fair and kind in how you live your life and how you deal with people. Because when you are, you bring a positive sense to the world. And when you have that, you have value. The worst thing we can do as women is to let ourselves be devalued. We have to know our worth, and we have to carry it forth, because we are the leaders for the next generation. And we are kicking it, ladies. Who is running the small business world? Okay, so we have to be kind to ourselves as well as to others. We need to know our why. Why are we doing what we're doing? What is our purpose? What is our passion? When you can define, clearly define in one sentence what your why is, there will be no stopping you. And stop comparing yourself to others. This is a deadly mistake that a lot of women, especially young women, make. They compare themselves to others without knowing all the facts or having the true story. Oh, she's so successful. Oh, she's so popular. Oh, she's got all the guys. You don't really know what's going on, but you should not be comparing yourself to others, because everybody has a place in this world and everybody has something that they can impart. And it's all good and it's all important. And the last thing is that I really want to impart that you need to define success on your own terms. What this means is, don't listen to somebody else's definition of success or definition of what your successful life should look like. Go out there and define your own level of success, or what you think success is. Maybe it's having a decent job and also having downtime with your family. Maybe it's, I want to have a child and I only want to work 30 hours a week. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody ever set in stone that the definition of success is I work 80 hours a week and I make over $100,000 a year. That's up to you to define, nobody else. There's lots of different ways to have a business. There's lots of different ways to have a profession. It's what works for you, and don't let anybody tell you differently. Because they're not you, and you have to be able to function on the way that you are meant to function, on the level that you're able to do it. And don't forget to take some time out to recharge. This is a big thing for women, even young women. We're always working, we're always running, we're always doing. That drains us because of the way our bodies are and the way we are genetically made up. We're different from men. We have to take those recharges. We have to stop and just take time for ourselves, whether that's going for a walk, going to the gym, or going on a vacation. You've got to do that. You've got to zone out, to reconnect and rezone in. So, in conclusion, the journey to success isn't paved in a straight line. But if you truly believe in yourself and your why, the purpose for what you're doing, follow your heart and trust your gut, you will thrive. Thank you.
Just another round of applause for that amazing